Hello, good evening, all of you. So, today's session I actually planned to take to tell you how to prepare for 2025. So, both for prelims as well as mains. So, I'd like to take all of your questions regarding the same, but I'll just give you a brief outline of how to go about. All right. So, can you hear me? A request to be. So, can you all hear me? Just can any of you say, I can hear you well? A very good evening to all of you. Okay. So I guess all of you are preparing for 2025 prelims. Radhe Radhe. Okay, so yeah, let me just begin with it and then take up the questions later. All right. So the very first thing that I would suggest all of you to go or start off with is that of NCERTs. Okay. So how do you go about NCERTs? Which NCERTs that you have to look at, and which after NCERTs what to study and which subjects to focus on. Okay. So we'll start with all that. So the very first thing is if you are a beginner and you have no idea about how to prepare UPSC or how to start your basic UPSC study, I would suggest most of you to go about downloading the NCERTs from the NCERT website. All right. So, which NCERTs should you focus on? First, the most important NCERTs that I would suggest you to look at is the NCERTs of history. Okay. History mein you have three, four NCERTs. One is the old NCERT, R.S. Agarwal, for ancient history. Second will be your medieval history, okay, by Satish Chandra. And third will be your basics of Bipan Chandra. That will be your three basic NCERTs of 11th and 12th, which you should focus when it comes to your history subject. Okay. Apart from that, world history also you get NCERTs. So Aparna, you can start off with NCERTs first because you still have a lot of time till you prepare, till you graduate. Okay. So क्या करना है spectrum में 1707 to post independence, all of it is given. So you have to focus on spectrum, and that is more than sufficient for covering your entire history subject for your prelims. Next, for polity, I believe Lakshmikant should be more than sufficient. Okay. And then economy, you can either go for Ramesh Singh or Sanjeev Verma. एनसीईआरटी में हो गई है तो मैं आगे क्या करूं? ओके, और कौन से क्लासेस करूं? Okay, fine. See, I have given you the book list for various subjects, right? All the important subjects. I'll just repeat that book list first. Okay. Spectrum for history, Lakshmikant for this thing, polity. Then science and tech, I think you should just stick with current affairs. All right. Environment, I would suggest go for Shankar book. Then polity, Lakshmikant. And then art and culture, it would be Nathan Singhania, which is a very important book. And ethics, you can go for lexicon. All right. And then when it comes to disaster management, I would like you to take up NCERTs again. So these are the basic books I suggest. Apart from that, if you are preparing for CSAT, just go for quantitative aptitude by R.S. Agarwal. Now that I've given you an entire book list, and geography again. If you cover NCERT and GC Leong, that should be good. So let's take off the questions. Basically, somebody had asked how to make notes, right? So when it comes to making notes, especially from NCERTs, I would suggest you read the NCERT first. After reading the NCERT, just make a small gist of whatever you have done in that particular subject. Okay, and then go for reading it again, understand, put the facts there. Okay. Let me cover the questions one by one. Okay, optionals I will put it in the end, how to go about, and book list. I have my optional for anthropology, so as such I can discuss anthropology. The rest is a little difficult. So yeah, NCERTs and newspapers, how to go about newspaper reading and making notes. So let's understand, when it comes to newspapers, not everything is important. Only understand your syllabus first. Once you understand the syllabus, you get to know that what is important and what is not from the perspective of UPSC. Okay. So as such, once you understand, go through the syllabus, you will know exactly what to prepare for. Especially your OPETs become very important, and in case you read certain elements in the social sector, you just have to make the make note of the case studies. All right. So when it comes to newspapers and what exactly to read in the newspapers. So when it comes to newspapers, basically you start off with, I'll just give you an example of economics or politics. You read an article, you underline the basic important points. All right. After you underline the basic important points, you would have to have made notes of the important whatever topic that you see in the syllabus. Just ensure that under that particular topic you write down the positives and negatives of that particular topic which you have studied. So whatever topic you study in newspaper, what you have to do is you just take a plain white sheet, write down the heading of the topic, and then take out only the important points. You don't have to write a lot of content. You just give you have to read newspapers, Nishant. Magazine तो बाद में कर सकते हो, but then right now, initially when you're preparing, I think it should be useful to prepare from newspaper. Otherwise, you won't get to know what exactly is happening. Ankita, I think it can be written in Bengali. So yeah, whatever topics, just put the topic heading and ensure that in newspaper only take the keywords, okay, major keywords, and just make notes. So don't write everything because you will have to save time. Oh, Alice, what exactly do you want for 2024 pre? I read in class 12, but I prepared for UPSC, so please give me suggestions. It's the best classes in Delhi. See, Delhi has a lot of coaching institutions. So as such, you can choose any of them, frankly speaking. Most of them are good these days. But traditionally, I think Wajiram is a very good institution. Okay? Is UPSC pattern going to change? See, UPSC pattern, we don't have any idea when UPSC plans to change it, but it's been at least 11 years since the pattern has remained the same. Probably thoda bahut change hoga, nahi hoga, we can never say. But I think in a very short duration, it's not going to change. So UPSC, see, prelims has to be written in basic, those two topic, English and Hindi only. But again, for mains, I think you can take up different subjects, different languages, depending on its availability. Please check the UPSC notification. Vinash, 60 to 70 is difficult. Please ensure that you at least attempt or try and get 120. So 120, that means it is actually going to be very easy and very clearly you will be in. Mentorship, I will take up a little later. Shubham, yeah, coaching is necessary. Importance of coaching, okay. Delhi जाना important नहीं है स्नेहा. You can actually prepare from home also. I'm not sure UPSC is going to remove the optional actually. Yes, Atul, I'm actually giving personal mentorship from UPSC Guide. You can go through the bio and you can fill in the form there. कर चाहे UPSC. Well, Bhavna, coming to choosing UPSC optional subjects, एक काम करो, just try go through the options available. ठीक है? Once you see the options available, what you do is you analyze if you understand the optional very well, okay, and do you have expertise in that particular subject, or can you actually build expertise. ठीक है? इंटरेस्ट है नहीं है ये बात देख लो पहले. After you have interest and you have a basic understanding, you think you can actually go ahead and become an expert in that particular area. You think you can beat the people who have their graduation in that particular optional. So in that sense, you can take up optionals, or otherwise you can go for safe optionals. Safe optionals like sociology, anthropology, they're very good and they're very scoring also. But if you're from say PABAD background, yeah, Pol Science background, I think you can go for those topics also. I mean, those optionals also. See, all of you starting again whenever I initially spoke about how to begin with your preparation. So, जो भी start करना है पहले, please ensure that you start off with your NCERTs. Okay, basic 6th to 10th standard NCERTs, and in case of history, I think you can stick with 10th to 12th NCERT. So जो भी है जैसा भी है, start off with NCERTs. Once you have a basic of NCERT, and only then you go ahead with other books which are given. So NCERT will stabilize your background. It will ensure that you have the right background. All right. And then after that, you just go ahead with other books. And Aman, how do you read Lakshmikant? Yes, geography optional is a very good one. So reading Lakshmikant, see, Lakshmikant is a basic book for polity, and it's easy for you if you start off from the first section and do important topics. That is, the main important topics when it comes to polity are directive principles, okay, and then fundamental rights, basics, starting part 1, part 2, and parliament, and those topics. So just finish all those important ones pehle. Once you do that, again repeat for some time, reread, and ensure that you have understood it well. And then you can go for smaller topics which are at the end of your book. And as and when you start reading Lakshmikant, ensure that you actually give a proper test. As in, there are a lot of previous year questions in the end. So ensure that you actually go ahead and do it as soon as you finish the chapter. Just turn, see the questions available, and then go ahead with solving them. So you will know your basic understanding. ठीक है? And then coaching या self study, it depends on how much time you can actually give. कोचिंग अगर जाओगे तो इट्स easier for you to finish off the syllabus very quickly. सेल्फ स्टडी के लिए और ज्यादा टाइम देना पड़ेगा आपको. ठीक है? एंड देन कोचिंग विल बी अ डायरेक्टेड वन. एक्चुअली तुम्हें बहुत सारे अच्छे डायरेक्शंस मिल जाएंगे. NCERT का इम्पोर्टेंस, सी NCERT becomes very important to have your basics already. First attempt 2023 हिस्ट्री ऑप्शनल. देखिए हिस्ट्री ज्योग्राफी ऑप्शनल के लिए आई एम नॉट द बेस्ट पर्सन एक्चुअली, because I have not done in that. I have not had that optional. But again, look at the scoring pattern. Again, law optional, I'm sorry, I have no idea about it. I know that a few optionals like sociology, anthropology are very good and very scoring, and even pol science too. So current affairs, two important things, Preeti. Newspapers, Hindu, Indian Express, and your compilations. So if you can bring a good mix of both of them, I think your current affairs is good. Notes making, etc. I think we will discuss in personal mentorship session, because I'll not be able to answer everything in detail here. I tried giving some important pointers, but then it will take a lot of time doing it, seeing all this, so many questions here. Definitely science students are clearing UPSC more than art students. So CA के लिए as I said, 2 newspaper and compilations काफी हैं. CSAT becomes a very important topic right now, because many of the students are facing difficulties, and clearing CSAT is also very difficult these days. CSAT is being made tougher and tougher every day. Okay, so अब क्या करो CSAT के लिए? Please start preparing now only. See to it that you start off with one topic, solve at least 15-20 questions until you are fluent with that particular topic. Practice is what I can tell when it comes to CSAT. CSAT में pattern ये है कि you have both English as well as quantitative aptitude and logical reasoning. ठीक है? So quantitative aptitude, RS अग्रवाल आप देख लीजिए. English आपको, if you start reading English newspapers like the Hindu and Indian Express and all that, your English will definitely improve. So as such, that's more than sufficient. Okay, so ensure that you practice. 11th में कौन सा सब्जेक्ट चूज करना है? That depends on your area of interest and what do you want to graduate in. Yes, environment के लिए दोनों books अच्छे हैं अनिकेत. So you can go for either of them. I have followed Shankar and it was a pretty good book. So UPSC कितने attempt तक देना सही रहेगा? Yes, this is an important question. See, if possible, try and finish it within 2 to 3 attempts. उसके बाद बैकअप ऑप्शन सोच के रखना. ठीक है? Monthly magazines, योजना, कुरुक्षेत्र and science reporters के लिए स्टार्ट में कौन से सब्जेक्ट करने हैं? श्रद्धा, सी डिपेंडिंग ऑन योर एरिया ऑफ इंटरेस्ट, आई थिंक यू शुड चूज दैट पर्टिकुलर सब्जेक्ट so that it becomes interesting. Otherwise, if you don't know that subject, and you might actually lose interest in beginning. So best coaching for English medium, again, there are online coachings, there are offline coachings. Even we at upscguide, we also have our own coaching. So you can join any of that. Nowadays, many coaching institutes are doing pretty well. Yeah, Vision IS magazine is pretty good. I have referred to Vision IAS magazines a lot of times. अगर फर्स्ट अटेम्प्ट में ही करना हो तो क्या करना चाहिए? So ensure your basics are really strong, and then add on to current affairs and write when it comes to mains and prelims के लिए practice करो. So that is what I suggest. Mains के लिए बहुत ज़्यादा आपको practice करनी पड़ेगी if you want to clear it in the first attempt. Faraz, I have already discussed how to start your preparation with respect to NCERTs and this thing. I've also given the book list when it comes to subjects. Best optional, see, optional हर किसी का अलग होता है. I cannot say यही optional best है, यही option सही है आपके लिए. Optional subject, Pol Science. Yes, Pol Science is good if you have a background in that. And it is even going to help you in your GS. Yeah, history for some people can be a little boring. But then, yeah, you read it like a story, novel की तरह पढ़ो. So initially समझ आ जाने लगेगा. And then later on, try and add facts to it. That will help you. First attempt, so many... Any recommendations for pre-examination? 2024 is it? GS comp करने के बाद अगर previous year कैसे करना? Rishu, I'm not sure. I'm not able to make your question. Can you rewrite it? Score in mocks. I think if you're not able to score in mocks, you should analyze what exactly is going wrong, or maybe you can go ahead and choose a mentor, understand who can help you in understanding where your strengths and weaknesses lie, so that whatever the situation is, you don't waste your attempt and it will help you. Optional for science students, when it comes to science student, you can, if you have a background in zoology and basic sciences, maybe you can go for that. Otherwise, you can go for anthropology. That is one of the very good optionals. Best coaching center in Delhi. There are many institutions these days. Vision हो गया, वाजीराम हो गया, Next IAS हो गया, बहुत सारे हैं. So it's okay. Interview के लिए English is better. Choosing geography, देखिए geography option is very good because it is going to help you in your GS also. You can score well in GS, disaster management, दोनों में help होगा और environment में भी help होगा. तो actually geography optional is good from that angle, but again it's a vast subject, so as such that becomes important. Shraddha, motivational book and videos depends on your area of interest also. So as I'll just not suggest anything, but if you want to really look for a motivational book, try reading Alchemist or 5 AM Club. That's a good one. Previous year questions, please solve it once you finish the books. एक बार basic books पढ़ लो and then you start attempting previous year questions. तब पता चलेगा कि कितना समझ आया है नहीं आया है. So when you try and solve the old questions, you will get to know कि okay, these are the areas where my strengths lie. These are the areas where I don't have any strength. So you will go back and study that. Is that okay? Economics. Oh, I'm sorry, I missed that comment. Okay. Is it and not necessary? When to start off, and PSIR भी अच्छा optional है, by the way. If you can, if you have a background in that, yeah, it's definitely a good option. Well, pre-phobia is, yeah, when you look at the numbers, 10 lakh लोग apply करेंगे, if 5,000 to 8,000 people clear, yes, you'll definitely have phobia. बट सी बट वो सोचना ही बंद करो सिर्फ तुम और तुम्हारे क्वेश्चन पेपर. दैट बिकम्स, इफ यू जस्ट सी दैट एंड यू थिंक ओके मुझे ये क्वेश्चन पेपर सॉल्व करनी है, कंपटीशन में फोकस नहीं करनी है, then that is one way in which you can overcome the pre-phobia. While writing, can you suggest? Well, if you are making spelling mistakes, I think you should learn the language better. You write and practice. You read a lot of newspapers. Ensure that you highlight certain words and keep practicing the language. Yes, you can prepare at any age. See, 32 is the age limit given by UPSC. So you definitely can prepare even at age of 27. Literature optional is decent. Okay, there are certain literatures which perform very well. Some might not do well. So depending on your history, whatever subjects, how they are performing, एक बार देख लो marks कैसे दे रहे हैं, क्या नहीं दे रहे हैं, and all that. And based on that, you choose the literature optional. Doctor, see, if you're a doctor, and definitely you can go for medical science optional. That will be the most easiest thing for you to actually go ahead and do. Not many people will be competing with you also, so it in that sense also it will be helpful. Rishu, Hindi literature, please go through the previous performance of that particular optional. Once you understand कैसे marks दे रहे हैं, highest marks कितना है, and paper 1 paper 2 में कैसे marks दे रहे हैं, depending on that you ensure that you take the optional or no. Sahil, agriculture optional is a little tricky, I must say, क्योंकि बहुत सारा facts remember करनी होगी, and you have to write it in a way, not non-generic sense. So as such, थोड़ा सा it might become generic. तो एक बार सोच लो एग्रीकल्चर ऑप्शनल के बारे में. Book list, I have given it earlier only. 2025 history optional. See, history as an optional is good for some people, not good for all, because history में बहुत ज़्यादा remember करनी पड़ेगी. ठीक है? So if you are very good at history, then only then you please take history. Hindu newspaper, quickly see, understand your syllabus, eliminate what is not required, see to it that you read economic section, op-ed section. ठीक है, starting जो points 5-6 pages से except for the front page eliminate कर दो. op-ed section के बाद जो है वो section पढ़ना. So that will be my suggestion, quickly पढ़ने के लिए. ठीक है. PSI, CSAT, I have already discussed. Cracking prelims can be 5 steps sufficient. NCERT, yes. Readings, newspapers, CSAT preparation, test series, pre-IQ practice. Yes, that should be more than sufficient. Just ensure that your background or your basics are very good. Push, can we discuss that in personal mentorship session if that is possible? Because just explaining it here will be very generic. आपके detail में अगर discuss करेंगे तभी पता चलेगा how much time you have and where exactly you stand and all that. So depending on that, I can actually suggest how to prepare for that particular when you're working. Because not everybody's time schedules will be the same, तो मैं generic ऐसे advice नहीं दे सकती. Postgrad in agriculture, yes, Akshay, I think if you have that confidence that you can actually do it well, then you can go. And if you're an agriculture optional, you can also check out IFS syllabus also. Even that is a good optional then. You can check for both civil services as well as IFS. Background is BSc. Please, BSc background है तो zoology देख लीजिए. या you can also go for botany, but I'm not sure of the performance of botany. Zoology में तो marks मिल जाएगा, that I'm sure. अभी 8th क्लास में हूँ तो मैं फिजा, if you're still in 8th standard, just stick to NCERTs. You still have a lot of years to actually start preparing for. So yeah, abhi for your level, I would just suggest stick to NCERT. 4 time 1 question. Ma'am, any contact number for joining any group for help? देखिए यहाँ पे बायो में they have given a mentorship link, and this details also how to join the mentorship program. So you can just go there after the session and you can join there. The prelims exam, but I have not cleared mains. Can you suggest for ethics? Again, we can discuss ethics if you have joined the mentorship thing. यहाँ पे बहुत that so many questions, I just can't take one specific area. But then ethics के लिए generic अगर मैं if I have to tell you is lexicon एक बार पढ़ लीजिए. So lexicon becomes important when it comes to definitions and all that, and governance aspects be strong. जो पॉलिटी पेपर 2 का गवर्नेंस है एंड एथिक्स का गवर्नेंस है, जस्ट इंश्योर दैट यू कवर ऑल ऑफ दैट, स्पेशली certain the sections of governance related to transparency, accountability, citizen charter and such things, civil services code of conduct and those areas. Baki just read the lives of whom inspiring people, whoever is inspired you, and yeah, stories from basically you can go for Ramayana, Mahabharata and other areas wherein you feel you will get some ethical ideas, ethical examples and things like that. So you can use those things. And apart from that also, when it comes to ethics, general day to day case studies अगर आपको न्यूज़पेपर में मिल गया, कॉर्पोरेट गवर्नेंस का हो गया, या it depends on which leader has given some speech and ऐसा कुछ in that case, so you can go ahead study all these in that sense. So अपना examples strong बना लीजिए ethics के लिए, ठीक है? Is it yes, you can clear UPSC even without leaving your job, and that is what UPSC actually respects also a lot. Okay, so आप टाइम मैनेजमेंट कैसे करोगे उस पर डिपेंड करता है कि आप क्लियर कर पाओगे कि नहीं, एंड हाउ फोकस्ड योर प्रिपरेशन इज. BA student or BHU, ma'am, I followed right now. Should I do it? Yeah, Ramesh Singh is actually good for economics. Basics definitely is going to be a good one. ठीक है? How can I current affairs? Yeah, newspapers and compilations. How? Yeah, Hindi medium. I'm not the right person to say because I've not studied in Hindi medium. So books becomes very difficult for me to suggest. English medium ki books I can suggest. Yes. So yeah, at the end right now what we can do is I'm just yeah, Hindu and Indian Express. देखिए बायो में एक बार देख लीजिए, वहां पे यू विल गेट द लिंक as to where you can join the mentorship programs. Optional okay, I'll first discuss optional subject and then yeah, Prettiest 365 is good for CA. Essay and all, I think you should find the right mentor, Gaurav. Right mentor. Delhi University में private admissions, that I'm not sure. Environment, PMF, IAS, yeah, Shankar. So yeah, right now what I'll do is I'll just suggest give basic idea of optional, choosing an optional, and then we will discuss about personal mentorship and how mentorship is helpful, and after that we'll close the session. Okay. Okay, so optional, whichever background you're looking for, whichever background you are from, see, ensure that you're choosing an optional that is close to that. क्योंकि आपका optional, you will have to have a very much depth. जो भी subject लोगे बहुत ज़्यादा depth में you will have to understand, and as such ensure that you have sufficient background in that particular optional. Economics is a very good optional that way. तो आप अगर इकोनॉमिक्स बैकग्राउंड में हो, यू कैन चूज इकोनॉमिक ऑप्शनल. अगर नहीं हो, यू आर नॉट फ्रॉम दैट बैकग्राउंड, see the syllabus, see the syllabus and see can you do it. Just ensure that you have the basics. समझ में आए, if you have that confidence only, then take the subjects. PSIR भी ऐसा ही है. Pol Science, PubAd is generic, many people take it. Pol Science also many people take it. But if just think, can you compete with people coming from Pol Science background या PubAd background? ऐसा सोच के, and then ensure your strengths, weaknesses in choosing optionals. Science background के लिए there are optionals like agriculture, zoology, anthropology, and sociology also. Sociology, I think, is the one of the best optionals that way. It's one of the most scoring optionals also. ठीक है? So this is how you can choose optional. आपका, you have to have an interest in that. Study the background. Marks अच्छे मिल रहे कि नहीं लोगों को, are they giving good marks in that particular optional? क्वेश्चन पेपर स्टडी करो. क्वेश्चन पेपर स्टडी करके यू विल गेट टू नो कि ओके, कैन आई सॉल्व दिस पेपर या नहीं. ठीक है, वंस यू डू ऑल दैट, एंश्योर दैट तुम्हें इंटरेस्ट भी है सब्जेक्ट में, एंड आफ्टर डूइंग ऑल दैट फिर देखना कि यू वांट टू गो अहेड विद दैट पर्टिकुलर सब्जेक्ट या नहीं. एंड मटीरियल्स भी अवेलेबल होनी चाहिए. Economics is pretty decent optional when but again I cannot comment on that particular optional because I have not taken it and I don't know the depths to which you will have to go into that particular optional. Geography अच्छा optional है and it will definitely help you in your GS also, but scoring sometimes it will work out, sometimes it won't. Kushbu, दोनों I suggest Indian Express as well as your this thing Hindu, दोनों papers are compulsory. Yes, you can actually prepare for UPSC within a year. That is more than sufficient. Optional for commerce background, generic होगा तो sociology I would suggest. Pol Science भी अच्छा ऑप्शनल है दैट वे. इकोनॉमिक्स के लिए क्या सब्जेक्ट, आई डोंट नो बिक्की, आई डिडंट गेट योर क्वेश्चन. देखिए राधिका, कोचिंग डिपेंड्स ऑन योर नीड, आई वुड से. अगर इफ यू कैन डू सेल्फ स्टडी, प्लीज गो अहेड एंड डू सेल्फ स्टडी, बट इट विल टेक अ लॉट ऑफ टाइम एंड डायरेक्शन भी इज डिफिकल्ट. But when if you go for coaching, you will get the right direction. Current affairs समझा देंगे, they'll tell you what to study, what not to study, and all that. तो इसीलिए essay, I cannot give generic advice because हर individual का essay देखने का तरीका अलग होता है. So it's difficult to give me a very generic suggestion for essay. It can be only done when I see your essays and then based on that I can suggest अच्छा हो रहा है, नहीं हो रहा है, क्या improve कर सकते हो and all that. So beginners, as I have already suggested, the NCERT current affairs and then the book list, please follow that. कितने घंटे, again it's depends on the individual. So you can never say कि 10 घंटे पढ़ना है, not necessary. You can even study for 5-6 hours and you can clear the exam. You can study for 10 to 14 hours also. It depends on how fast you can pick up, how much you can remember. ठीक है? Well, NCERT हाँ, NCERT तो देखिए बेसिक्स हिस्ट्री के लिए तो कंपलसरी है, ज्योग्राफी के लिए कंपलसरी है, Economics and polity, you can, it's not exactly compulsory, but science again it's compulsory. So it's better if you go through NCERTs. एक बार तो NCERTs पढ़ लो. Histories and all, you बाकी subjects तो you will have to do it. Rishu, if you're not philosophical in essay, ठीक है, but then you'll have to learn to understand philosophical topics and write, practice कर लो, because nowadays philosophical essays are in, and अगर अच्छे से नहीं लिख पाओगे तो they won't give you marks. ठीक है. So finally, yeah, let me speak about the importance of mentoring in this particular field. देखिए क्या होता है, many a times we will not be in the right direction and we waste a lot of years doing that. So as such, if you find a right mentor who can understand आपके strengths, weaknesses, जब समझ आ जाए ना, तो that is a good time. That person can help you with respect to that. आपके area of weakness कैसे improve करना है, they will help you. ठीक है. Apart from that also, they can see your answers, they can tell you ऐसे आंसर्स लिखना है, नहीं लिखना है, एंड नॉट, अगर आप टेस्ट सीरीज भी लिखोगे, समटाइम्स यू विल गेट वेरी जेनेरिक सॉल्यूशंस या वेरी जेनेरिक मार्क्स. आपको समझ नहीं आएगा कि आपका मार्क्स क्यों नहीं आ रहा है यहाँ पे और क्यों आ रहा है इन सम क्वेश्चंस. सो एज सच, it's better to have a mentor with you who can understand your strengths, your weaknesses. ठीक है. तो as अगर mentorship चाहिए, there are many options as such. They can guide you in the right direction. अच्छे से mentor choose करो, not somebody who can waste your time, but who can actually guide you. परख लो mentors को, and then you can choose. Sure, we will post the book list on the website. Shubham, देखिए, if you have read the books, try and solve the questions, previous year questions. पता चल जाएगा कौन से एरिया में आप स्ट्रांग हो, कौन से एरिया में वीक हो. तो यू कैन फोकस अगेन ऑन दोज एरियाज जहां पे आप वीक हैं. तो एंड फोकस ऑन करंट अफेयर्स. Should video on answer writing, definitely we will take it up next time. Neeraj, you can go to the bio and fill the form. वहां से we can take the discussion ahead. Class 10th, Adya, you still have a lot of time. Please focus on NCERTs and your 10th standard exams, because your basics or basic degree is also important. So side by side NCERT prepare कर लीजिए, and newspapers, current affairs आप focus कर लीजिए right now. That should be sufficient at this point of time. NCERTs, please stick with newspapers and some compilations. Vision का compilation हो गया, and some other compilations, whichever you find comfortable in. Seema, finish off NCERTs, start off with current affairs and go for the books. The book list which is generally suggested, which I have also given. A second year degree, yes, you can start, Jyoti. That's the perfect time to start off with your preparation. What do you want for zoology optional, Kishan? What are you about to attempt, Farhan? Which year are you trying to attempt? I'm not aware of philosophy optional, I'm sorry. See, zoology optional बहुत लंबा है. If you have a background in it, well and good. Start off making notes. Optional के read the syllabus properly and start making notes. And read. That is because it's huge. So that is the only suggestion I can give right now. Mentoring अगर आप आओगे तो then we can discuss in detail कैसे करना है. BTech second year, yes. Please start preparing. NCERTs and current affairs अभी से करोगे तो it is definitely going to be helpful. Anything in optional nahi, because you will have to choose the right optional. It can make or break your UPSC attempts. I don't have a YouTube channel. I'm just doing Instagram live here for UPSC guide. देखिए कोई भी डिग्री हो चलेगा. It's not that you have to do this degree or this degree. Ensure that it is employable. तो आपका बैकअप भी तैयार हो जाएगा. It's आपका डिग्री सिर्फ यूपीएससी पे फोकस नहीं होना चाहिए. It's about your life skills. Kishan, ethics essay is very tricky. We can discuss it outside this particular session. You can join the free mentoring session. वहाँ पे we can discuss ethics in essay. Yeah, final year, Mamta, you can start preparing actually. English speaking is not compulsory, Umesh, but then it's better you know English क्योंकि prelims clear करनी है तो English becomes important. यहाँ पे bio में all the details will be given. You can take the details there. All right. सारे mentorship के सारे details will be given in the bio. So we will just give all the details. वहाँ से let's connect. Please explain. Yeah, Neeraj, I have already discussed that. First, go ahead with NCERTs and then go with your current affairs side by side and then go for your main books. Okay? So, yeah, thank you, everybody. I will close the session. I'm not sure of Amit, class 9th के बारे में नहीं पता. Time management, Vicky, it depends on the individual. We can discuss that later. Because every person is different when it comes to managing time and how they should focus on which subject and what not. Can we can take up this in the free mentorship session which we have for everybody. Working aspirants, time management kar lo, please. You should know when to take up and you should know when not to do that. So time management becomes very, very important when it comes to working professionals. Ensure that you have time or make time. Make self notes तो बहुत पढ़ो and then once you understand the theme तब notes बनाना शुरू कर दो. Well, study with MTechs. Yeah, you can study with MTech, but whoever is studying जहाँ पे भी है basics आपको you start off with NCERTs and again, as I've said, current affairs becomes very important. या NCERTs के लिए actually notes बनाने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. You can just go through it twice or thrice. Only for, I would suggest notes history के लिए बनाओ. That should be sufficient. बाकी NCERTs के लिए notes is not required. You don't have to make notes for NCERT. History के लिए it's compulsory, but क्योंकि बहुत बड़ा book है. But otherwise, I think it is not really necessary. Lakshmi, for pol science, I'm sorry, I'll not be able to help much. Newspaper analysis, try and analyze on your own. And if by chance you find it difficult, there are a lot of YouTube channels which are explaining certain concepts. Try and follow those channels. At least you'll get to know initially कि कैसे देखना है, क्या देखना है and all that. So as such, you can go ahead and focus on your newspaper analysis. पहले देख लो कैसे हाउ पीपल आर एनालाइजिंग. यूट्यूब पे बहुत सारे फ्री चैनल्स होंगे, and then you read on your own, see those channels, and then you will get to know what is important, what is not, and all that. Apeksha, maps again, you have to understand things in depth. तो practice पे जाएगा. Confusion तो होगा, definitely होगा, but then yeah, practice, that is the only key I can tell you. या लिंक कर लो, रिपीट, दैट्स इट. ऑप्शनल इंग्लिश ज्यादा आइडिया नहीं है ममता. सो नीरज, आफ्टर द सेशन, आफ्टर दिस लाइव सेशन ends, there'll be a link and you can join it from there. It's NCERT books, old and new दोनों important है actually NCERTs, because old NCERTs history becomes important. बाकी सब के लिए you can just refer to new ones. Yuvraj, see, revision depends on how well or how well you have actually prepared already. तो उसी के basis पे revision भी it will take time. If you know the subject very well, revision will take less time. Otherwise, it generally takes more time. ठीक है. Economics complete करना as in for GS or for your optional? इसी चैनल पे मिलेगी, यूपीएससी गाइड के चैनल में ही आपको मिल जाएगी लिंक. इकोनॉमिक्स, सी इफ यू आर लुकिंग एट इकोनॉमिक्स जीएस, आप संजीव वर्मा सर के बुक्स ले लो या रमेश सिंह ले लो, दोनों अच्छे हैं. Mamta, I have already given the list of important books. We will just post it also online. ठीक है? As soon as the session ends, we'll post it online. मॉडर्न हिस्ट्री आप पढ़ लो. आई थिंक यू शुड रीड इट लाइक अ स्टोरी, एक दो बार एनसीईआरटीज पढ़ लो, एंड उसके बाद ट्राई टू रिमेंबर. तब तक याद करने की कोशिश मत करो, जस्ट रीड इट लाइक अ नॉवल फेस्ट, एंड देन you can start understanding or start remembering. Important for history specifically. देखिए, maps is ancient and medieval के लिए ना important क्यों होती है, I will tell you. Prelims में you start getting some questions. For example, there were questions on Kaveri Patnam या Muzri Sport and all that. तो in such situations थोड़ा maps important बन जाता है, because prelims के लिए एक एक question भी important हो जाती है. So that way, ancient and medieval के लिए you will get this thing. आर्नव, देखिए, एंथ्रो, सोशियो, PSIR तीनों अच्छे ऑप्शनल्स हैं. इट डिपेंड्स ऑन what interests you and what you think you can go ahead with in depth and study in depth. So that is what I suggest when it comes to this particular thing. तो देख लो. You thank you, Neeraj. ऑनलाइन कोचिंग यूपीएससी के लिए सही? yes, actually, if you think you can understand things in optional online class, that is actually a very good thing, क्योंकि आपको you're saving a lot of time by going for online coaching, and you can do it with respect to your timing and all that. तो in that sense, online coaching is helpful. Offline के लिए आपको you'll have to go to Delhi या wherever the institutions are, and you'll have to spend a lot of time finding a place to stay, and then not only that, food arrangements, बहुत सारे things you will have to leave and go. So online that way is actually helpful. You can save a lot of time and money when it comes to online coaching. Please don't choose history in case you have not studied it in graduation. Optional mat lena, please. I will not. Hindi medium में I might not be able to guide you because my basic medium of language is not Hindi. I can just speak, I can converse in Hindi to some extent, but not completely. ठीक है. Vicky, again, test series, there is no one best one. आप vision के साथ जा सकते हो. Geographical thought, I'm sorry, I'm not from geography optionals. I can only speak about anthro optionals. Sociology book also, please refer to your socio posts. All right. So yeah, let's end the session today. Thank you very much. Bye bye.